The secret of Cane Aikido is not overpowering the opponent. It's yielding with purpose. Giving way at the right time leads to control, balance, and conflict resolution in an effective and efficient manner. That is the topic of today's Caner tip. It's Cane Aikido in motion. Stick around. It's Caner Tip Tuesday, and today the power of yielding in Cane Aikido. But before we do that, a warm welcome to all, especially if you're here for the first time. If you're really loving the content, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the little bell icon so that you don't miss any future content, and avail yourself the #1 free resource, the no-cost Cane Clarity Call. You do that by texting the letters CCC to the number on the screen. In less than 24 hours, we will be on a phone call with you, answering all your questions and discussing what it is that you've seen here that piques your interest. The most important question is, how are you going to get cane trained in the comfort of wherever you live? How are you going to do that effectively, efficiently, and enjoyably? That's what we do on our end. So go ahead and do that. We also have Facebook groups that are open to the general public. Just request entry, agree to the group rules so that they let you in. The natural inclination when you're under the duress of the moment is to meet this problem. Sometimes either you're paralyzed by the fear, shock of the moment, but you don't realize it, but you're going about it head on. And listen, here's a good question. If I'm the individual with the cane and I have the reach advantage, why am I going to yield? There's a question for you. And the answer to that is because when you yield, yielding isn't just, giving. Yielding is you're giving way with purpose so that you're bringing intelligence. When you combine intelligence with all the advantages of reach and the practicality, it's already in your hand. Now that is an effective tool. And I'm going to show you here what the issue is. I'm going to show you this with Vanessa. She's got the tool here. And this is what typically will happen. So imagine here, if the only way that you have to respond is to go into striking mode. And by the way, this is coming from the guy who developed the ACSD's power shot template, that where you're gonna strike with power, speed, and accuracy. Remember that? Yep, that stuff works, but if this is the only way that you have of doing things, and ACSD teaches you other ways, you're always going to revert to trying to do this one thing. Now look where my hand already is. I'm closing in the gap and I'm coming in. She's trying to deal with me, not to mention, if she's not trained on how to strike and she winds up and she's coming in, and please, this whole idea of coming, to the midline as a first shot, straight with like a bang where I take this side, I'm going to go right through, right? I'm not a bob bag. I have reflexes. I see that coming from a mile away, and here I go. So if I take any response where this is a bigger body that's going to control, whether it be a punch or whether it be a grab, and I go in here. Now she's already springing into action. But if you go to move squared up, that's one thing. Now you're forced to deal with me head on. But when she opens that door to yield, she's opening the opportunity. Notice that this is the direction that I'm headed in. I want them to go ahead and take a look here. This is very simple. What she's doing is she's taking on this side, right side. She's opening the door there. I'm coming in. I think there's a whack. She just hit me down low to the shin. Now that strike sneaks up on me, and anything that's coming in, she's ready to turn that tide right back on me. She opened the door because I'm assuming I'm going to find resistance. Now, notice this. If I'm hanging on to her, and I insist on being wrong, and she opens the door and she knows, see, the strike is already coming down here. You don't see it. I'm going to show you how she does that. She does it very subtly. So watch this. This opens up here. It just comes out and it releases that reach just comes over. I can't stop that shot coming right over. And I have overcommitted in that direction. That's very different than when I come here and she tries to square up with me and tries to go straight on. Very different, very different. The most effective strike is the one you don't see coming in. That's not one. You don't see it here, you don't see it here, and then on top of that, she has a follow-up. By the way, everything we do with the cane has an empty hand translation. You just get it in there. And it's the same exact thing. I'm coming in here, boom, See that? Boom, there she comes back. Now she can go ahead and right, and follow up and do what it is that you do. The same thing happens when you have that tool and anything that has to do where you're being connected, whether it be a punch, whether it be a grab. See, just here, just the mere contact point. I'm going to show you something very subtle and what happens with that hip rotation. Notice that when you're dealing with something here, this is the natural inclination is to go ahead and throw a punch right here. And if I'm taking this here, even if I'm here and I start moving, I'm still in that line of fire. When I bring contact and I just shift at the level of, it starts throwing off the biomechanics. I haven't even done anything with my other hand yet, but go ahead and throw that. It's not going to get there. Wood on bone hurts, and here's the alignment. Oh, tap, tap, tap. I didn't have to do much there. There is a yielding that is subtle when I start turning and spiraling through that starts throwing off the biomechanics. See how that works right in here? So look at it here. Throw the punch. Boom. I'm here. There I start turning. There I start. She can try all she wants. This is close to my body. This is why we train with the cane here. And these movements, these kinesthetic movements, where you turn and move. Boy, we just covered this past week in the very latest CaneFlow Continuum. But if this is something that resonates with you, there is a step-by-step way of learning it, and I invite you. Here's what I would do. Look for the Cane Aikido Essentials, the 6-week course, because that's also going to give you 30 days of CaneFlow Continuum at no cost. Go ahead and check it out, because we want you to test drive it first, sample it, and see if that's something that resonates with you. And let me just put in a filter right in here. If you're not into the concept of defending yourself, protecting your loved ones effectively and efficiently, but without necessarily, having to do that unless it's an absolute necessity. In other words, when I say, if you're going to destroy anything, destroy the attacker, and not destroy the attack and not necessarily the attacker, that doesn't resonate with you, then I'm not your guy. And I tell you straight up. But otherwise, go ahead and take a look at it. And the best way to do it, text those letters CCC to the number on the screen. Make sure that you have all your questions answered before you do that. I'm Joe Robaina for American Cane Self-Defense, Cane Aikido, CaneFlow, and all those associated curriculums that all have the same central theme, which is to defend and restore harmony whenever possible. Thanks for watching. Stay safe.